Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Noodle Shop. I am one host, Tristan. This is my co-host.
Gio, what's up?
Yeah, so the Noodle Shop is going to be our podcast that we're starting pretty
Yep.
much. Um, our main thing is just we want to just talk about random stuff, honestly. Whether it's, wrestling, like closer to the end of the episode, you're going to hear about we talk about wrestling, we'll talk about video games, music, you know, uh, maybe just reviews, reactions to different things, all kinds of things. Um, Me and Gio, of course, have met through work. Um, of course, we became like the best of friends as we can.
Yeah, definitely.
Um,
We're like brothers now.
yeah, we are.
My
It's
dad,
crazy.
my dad adopted him.
Yeah, it's crazy. Um, so, through all that, of course, there's a pandemic that had happened last year. Um, and during that pandemic, I feel like I gained a lot of friends. I'm sure Gio can attest as well.
I
You
didn't
gain
gain anyone. I played a lot of video games.
Exactly. That's what I mean is I gained a lot of friends through video games, but
Yeah.
like they were just temporary at that time. Just because, we're all in the same boat. We were all in the same boat at that
Yeah,
time.
it's pretty much.
Um, so throughout that as well, me and Gio, both of us started to do streaming, and um, I would say I personally I fell in love with it. I don't know if you fell in love with
No,
it,
I
but
mean, I do. I love streaming. I
yeah,
think that it's a cool outlet. We kind of like made like a little like gang of streamers, which is kind
yeah,
of crazy. We had one of our old coworkers get us into streaming, and really push us into it. He was already Tristan was already doing it, and one of our old coworkers got me into it, and I think that her getting us into it, like really pushing us, we kind of started like a little gang. It was like
yeah,
it was like five of us like all streaming, so I think that was pretty cool.
yeah. But
But no, yeah, I love it. I love streaming.
yeah, I feel like streaming is fun. The hard thing with streaming is, developing, obviously. I mean, with anything, it's
Is
always developing an audience or,
getting that following, yeah,
yeah.
definitely.
So I feel like, especially in my experience of streaming, like, you don't always have your friends online. So 90% of the time you're streaming alone. And if you don't have an audience, you're just sitting there pretty much
Yeah, you're sitting
talking to
there
yourself.
talking to yourself or playing the game by yourself, so
Yeah,
no,
so
definitely.
throughout that, we developed that love for it, and then it started falling off, as everything started opening up. We go back to work, stuff like that. So we had this idea to do this podcast. Um, we feel like it's going to be better than streaming because
Yeah,
we're actually
we're
talking.
talking to each other. We're talking about things maybe we love, like wrestling, like he said earlier. Look at the background. You can see the Gallahorn. We'll talk about Destiny and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Um, so it just getting into the things that we love. Uh, any type of content we love or music. Uh, yeah, stuff like that. Getting into it.
yeah. I feel like also doing the podcast, like we can hit another level of like socializing, I guess, because people will get to know us better, and then maybe you know somebody will listen to it and they'll bring something up that we said, and
Yeah,
we'll be
yeah.
like, oh, that's cool that they know that. Um,
And if you can't tell, we work for Oakley.
yeah, I mean, if you
Yeah,
can't tell,
right. We're like everything on,
yeah.
sunglasses,
I mean,
everything.
almost everything that we're gonna wear during this is probably gonna be some
Yeah,
form of Oakley.
and then if you're listening to it, you could just close your eyes and imagine that we're wearing Oakley.
Yeah, I mean, anybody can imagine what Oakley looks like. So,
That's funny.
yeah. So I feel like this is gonna be something that's gonna be a little bit better, especially doing it with somebody,
Yeah,
especially as a best friends, like as our brother as we are. Like it's gonna be a new adventure. It's also gonna be a lot of teamwork that'll rather than streaming by yourself, learning by
yeah,
yourself, doing all that. It's gonna be both minds of ours like trying to figure things out, which is gonna be cool.
yeah. I think that's probably the best part about it is we have two different sides of entertainment. So I think, putting our minds together, it's gonna come out pretty cool, I think. And it being our first time doing it, first time pretty much talking to no one but ourselves. I think that's gonna be pretty cool, and it's a little different. But getting used to it as well, and no one starts off a professional, and that's something that we understand. We understand, that it's gonna take time for us to get used to talking to a camera, or talking to basically nothing. Yeah, and honestly, we just want to have fun doing it, and hopefully, we hit right points and people actually listen to us and end up liking what we're talking about.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Eventually, we will have the high ground.
Yeah.
One day.
I have the high ground, Anakin. Oh my god.
Yeah.
We will have guests on. That's something that we've talked together about.
We're not sure when,
Yeah.
but
We want to get used to it.
Yeah, we want to kind of. I don't want to say develop a routine because it's never going to be a routine.
I don't think so. Yeah.
It's just we want to develop, a like a. I don't want to say a following because it's not really a following. We want to develop like a.
Just a consistency.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
perfect word.
exactly.
Consistency. We don't
Like-
want to start, doing like 4 of them and then we're like, all right, we're tired of this already.
Yeah, exactly.
And then
so
we're like, oh, we have a guest this week, so we kind of have to do it.
guest.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. We want to be, as energized as possible.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because no one wants to listen to us just mumble and be boring.
I mean, we could be mumble rappers.
I mean, they do make millions of dollars.
They do, exactly,
for
yeah.
nothing. Pretty
Imagine.
much.
I mean, it's not nothing. It's their art.
Sorry if you like mumble rap, by the way. We may offend somebody. About
I was
that,
gonna
so
say.
sorry.
There, people are gonna get offended. Honestly, we're just gonna make sure we have a good time doing this, and if anyone out there's listening, or you're watching, hopefully you're having a good time. If you ever have questions or anything, I'm sure we'll have our comments open. I'm not sure yet, since comments in YouTube are not a good place to be.
Yeah, not usually. And also know that we do appreciate it for at least giving us the time to check us out, of course.
Yeah, and it won't be more about us, but it'll be about what we love to do.
Yeah, and topics that we love.
Exactly.
Like music. Music is a perfect topic.
Yep, I play drums.
Music is always every single day changing. So
yeah, exactly.
Wrestling changes, by week.
Weeks, yeah. So we might have a little bit of topics about wrestling.
Yeah.
But
same with video games. Video games change usually yearly. So
yeah.
Unless something crazy comes out, then we're
like
gonna be on that
Cyberpunk.
for like 3 weeks.
Like Cyberpunk.
We're not even gonna start about Cyberpunk yet.
They just relaunched it they just relaunched it for the PlayStation Store.
Huh.
Because they're fixing it. It's playable now. So.
Wow. Yeah, they say that, and then you load it up, and then it looks like Peacock on Money in the Bank.
With Ricochet doing 5 flips.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about Money in the Bank today because that's something we just watched, and I think it'd be something cool to talk about.
Yeah.
It was a garbage show, no?
No, the show, I thought it was a pretty good show, honestly.
Yeah, it was alright.
There was a lot of matches. A lot of matches.
Yeah, there was.
And
a lot of botches.
A lot of botches, as there always is. Of course, they're mainly in the women's matches, most of the botches.
Yeah. It kind of sucks because anytime you watch wrestling, it's always like the women's match that has a botch or two.
Yeah, I feel like it kind of like they push the woman so much now when they used to not, and then now that they're pushing them and they mess up, it kind of like I don't want to say discredits, but it dampens their reputation of like their wrestling.
Yeah. Whereas the men, when they botch, it's not that big. But I mean, okay. So, anyways, review time, I guess, right?
Yeah.
For
Money in the Bank.
The Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
For
we literally just finished watching it
Yeah.
like 10 minutes ago.
Yeah. So we're gonna go ahead and talk about the first match was the women's Money in the Bank match.
Yeah.
Um, dude, I think the funny thing for me was Nikki Cross flying off the top rope.
That was pretty great.
I
And
don't
she almost missed. That was awesome.
definitely.
The ladder almost took out the announcers.
Um, Pat McAfee saying the shoulder tackle with the forearm.
And it was a forearm. Yeah, that was great.
Um,
Pat McAfee's he's a whole nother story.
oh my god,
We're not
dude.
even gonna start on him.
Should we just skip and go straight to Pat McAfee? Because
I mean,
that dude is a joke.
Yeah.
Joke.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the almost superhero one. I give that match a pretty decent rating. I liked it.
Yeah.
At the end, it was like almost like a bittersweet because I really like Nikki Cross.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't like her gimmick.
I really don't like what they did with her. But
I don't
Nikki
like
Cross.
how she won because I feel like that whole spot of the three ladders, they could have done so much with it and they didn't. They just, oh, we're gonna take 2 minutes to set up the ladders. They're all gonna climb up, and then she's just gonna climb up and take it, and that's it.
Yeah. I agree with you. I guess we'll just kind of rush through the show, so we're not wasting any time, and then we can kind of talk about some different stuff as well.
Yeah.
So the AJ Styles and Omas versus the Viking Raiders. What'd you think?
It was an alright match. It was pretty much what I expected. It's always AJ Styles does 95% of the match, and then you have Omos come in for 10 seconds and throw a guy on the ground. So,
Yeah.
I mean, other than that, though, I mean, AJ Styles had a phenomenal match. So did the Viking Raiders.
He's phenomenal. That's why.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. No, the Viking Raiders. I really like them. I've liked them since NXT, so
Yeah.
I think that they always put on a pretty good show, especially them being bigger guys and doing some of the stuff they do. So
Yeah, I think this match showed, them coming back from wherever they went. Like, it showed that they didn't miss a beat.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So one thing I have on our notes is, to me, the audience sucked.
I agree.
Dude, the audience was
Audience,
horrible.
Yeah.
They didn't stand up. They didn't like.
Compared to SmackDown, where they were crazy,
Yeah.
like they should have been because it's the first night back, like this audience was terrible.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like, there were some good spots for the audience, where they caught them doing like faces and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But other than that, I feel like, Texas, you just got to step it up. If anyone from Texas hears this, they need to step it up.
Yeah, unfortunately, that was, I think, the thing that killed it the most was the audience was just like, they didn't seem to care, and B, they were still doing the sound effects for the audience even though there was an audience.
I mean, it could be that WWE probably paid the audience to sit there and watch the show. They're like, we need a first audience. It needs to be a sold out arena.
Yeah.
We're gonna pay you $100 to sit down and watch
We'll
wrestling.
give you $1 tickets front row.
Shit. That's
Yeah.
funny. All right. Drew McIntyre's beard.
Yes, I was the one that pointed that out.
Yeah.
He had, like, doing the interview, he had a few hairs just
His beard's weird.
sticking out. Yeah, it's like, dude, for how much money you make, you need to get that fixed.
And they have people that cut their hair.
Yeah,
So,
probably
like-
immediately before the match. Too.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
I need
come
to get
on.
on that. Bobby and Kofi's match. I really liked it.
I did too.
I thought it was a good one. I should have done like, it was a good one. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah, I thought it was all right. I feel like Kofi.
Kofi got squashed.
Yeah, I feel like he
Yeah.
almost got too squashed, like
Yeah.
into the ground, and then a big pile of dirt on top of him.
But
Squashed.
I mean, honestly, like,
Bobby Lashley should do that.
yeah,
right?
I think they need to build Bobby Lashley as a kind of like a beast. Like, I don't know if you watch like a lot of AEW, but it's like Brian Cage, for example. Like, I feel like that dude's so big that he should be like a beast, almost the Brock Lesnar type,
Yeah.
where he's the final boss,
Yeah.
and that's kind of what like Roman Reigns, I guess, is like the final boss because he's got that character, but I feel like Bobby Lashley should be the final boss because
Yeah.
he looks like that character.
Well, I feel like they're trying to build him like they did Brock, but
Yeah,
Brock, I mean, only wrestled once in a
yeah,
blue moon, and Bobby wrestles almost every week. So
and then the Charlotte and Rhea Ripley. I didn't like that match.
it was an alright
I feel like
match.
the show after that was downhill.
I disagree because the men's Money in the Bank was after
Oh
that
yeah, I
match.
forgot. Wait, did they even play that match?
Oh yeah, yeah, that was great. That was the best. That was the
Yeah.
best part. If you don't know
Um,
what we're talking about, you should have been there. There was a
Peacock
Twitter
had
war
yeah.
with Peacock and
Peacock
everybody
had
else.
a little bit of a hiccup, and they
Yeah.
were twitching out on everything. Especially Ricochet did like 3 flips
In his video.
That was awesome. No, the Rhea Ripley match, I feel like it was good. I feel like Rhea Ripley kind of dropped the ball,
Yeah,
if I'm
especially
honest.
for the caliber that
Yeah,
Charlotte and her are. Like,
exactly. Yeah.
she definitely dropped the ball.
Yeah. Well, we'll skip that one because that was kind of that was an okay
Yeah.
match.
It wasn't
Decent
even a
ending.
part of it.
It wasn't really predictable though. Like I honestly didn't think Charlotte was gonna win.
See, I did. I
Yeah.
feel like every
Okay.
time Charlotte comes back, they're like, "Oh, we'll just give her the belt. Screw it."
Yeah. I guess.
She
Yeah.
is a now 13-time champion, so
This is true. All right. So the men's Money in the Bank. I did like that match actually.
I thought that was the best match of the night.
Yeah, I thought they did a really good job. I'm glad Big E won because that's something that he kind of deserved.
That came out of nowhere. I
Yeah.
did not think Big E even had a chance. I
That
thought they just put him in the match because they always do that with the New Day. They're just like, "Oh, he's in the match. It doesn't really matter."
yeah, and I feel like the ending
It was
the
very
ending was really
fulfilling.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
like him doing the big ending off of the top of the ladder. That was pretty dope.
Even the Seth Rollins on top of it was
Yeah.
even better.
Yeah.
If it was like Ricochet, I would have been like, okay, it's Ricochet. So
So the one thing that had us laughing that whole like maybe for like a good like quarter of that match was John Morrison.
yes, my one comment in the middle of it when he grabbed his foot. I forget who it was he kicked, but I think it was Shinsuke. He
Yeah.
grabbed his foot and like pulled it and then let go and he kicked them with it, and it was great.
Dude, that was so funny. It
And
was like such a delay.
it was great.
And then
His little hiya. It was great. Yeah,
that's
that's
funny.
perfect.
And then the Edge and Roman match.
That's a whole box that I don't want to unfold.
That match was garbage. It took too
Yeah.
long.
It took 20 minutes to develop an ending that
Yeah.
was
I
20
get it.
seconds long.
Yeah, and I get it. They're the big, the big wrestlers, but I feel like they could have put a better match on.
It felt like
They're good wrestlers too. That's the messed up thing is that they're two really good wrestlers, but
Yeah.
I feel like they just
I felt like that match should have been a filler match.
yeah, like
Because
before
they
the
were
Money in the
just-
Bank.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were
yeah.
just wrestling around for
Definitely.
the first half of the match at least.
I agree. Yeah, but that's what we thought about Money in the Bank. We'll go ahead and talk about another subject in a second. Give
Yeah.
us 2 seconds.
Well, you want to do ratings? We can do a rating.
Oh, yeah, we
Do
can
a
do a
rating on the
rating.
show.
So yeah,
out
I
of,
guess
out of 10.
out of a 10 for the show. I don't know. What do you think?
I would give the show itself, I'd give it like a 7.
7.
I would say five of that 7 is the men's Money in the Bank match.
Dang. Okay.
The rest of the show was just and
I
a
think
lot of filler.
I think if I had to rate it, like actually rate it, I'm gonna give it. I'll probably give it like a 7.5, maybe 2. It had some really good matches in it.
Yeah.
Some the botches are besides the point. The botches
Yeah.
to me, make it real.
Yeah,
Make it
it's just a
fun,
part of wrestling.
Exactly, it's gonna happen. No one's perfect, so So I think that makes me really like I guess have a better time just to
Yeah.
laugh at the botches because there's nothing you can really do.
Yeah. I honestly I just thought about it, and I feel like they made, because the men's Money in the Bank was so like extreme with like the spots that they did or bumps that were taken or just stuff like that. I feel like that was the main killer of like the woman's Money in the Bank, for example, because I feel like they didn't take rarely any spots, bumps, anything,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
like they didn't put anybody through a ladder or anything. Whereas in the men's one, they
The
put
men's, yeah, Kevin
Kevin
Owens
Owens.
when he died twice.
Yeah, they put him through a ladder and on the side of a ladder, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
insane.
No, yeah, definitely. All right, cool.
Yeah.
So that's what we thought about the show.
Yeah.
Hopefully you guys liked it, and let's get on to the next segment.
Hello.
Hey, so okay, we're back from I guess a little intermission.
Intermission.
Oh,
Oh.
we're gonna talk about I know it's kind of late and
I mean,
it's
it's not
already
really late. It's still
yeah,
being
it's
talked
still kind
about,
of being talked about, yeah, but
considering,
it's kind of fresh in our
yeah,
minds, I guess still.
Aleister Black just showed up on AEW, so I mean,
This is true. But the wrestling releases, I don't want to really name any companies because I don't know how that works
I think you
with
can. They're
copyright.
public companies.
Yeah, but
I mean, we did say Money in the
oh yeah,
Bank,
we
so I
did. So
mean that's
yeah, I guess
trademarked
then
already.
then
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
But
So
the
WWE released
yeah,
a lot of people.
a lot, yeah, man. I mean, I don't have the list right now, but it was like
It's like,
it for me,
at the time it was, Samoa Joe.
dude. I was just gonna say for me, like I don't like. I'm one of those people that doesn't really care about those things, but like when I saw Samoa Joe's name, I was like, no.
Yeah,
I was
of
like, why
course.
would you do that? I mean,
That's
he's back in NXT,
He is,
but
but
why would they do it in the beginning? You know?
yeah, they released him. The point is they released him at a point for no reason
Yeah.
whatsoever. Same with Braun Strowman. I mean, Braun
Mm,
Strowman, I mean, he's
he's just, I mean, he's a good wrestler. He's a
he
cool
is.
dude. Met him a few times,
Yeah,
and
same.
he's really nice.
It's
But
just like
I don't think he was
they don't
like.
use him correctly, I feel
Yeah,
like.
it's okay. So it's like our conversation earlier about Bobby Lashley. I feel like that's what Braun Strowman needed to be. He needs
Yeah.
to work on his like in-ring talking and stuff like that. But
He was very kid friendly, I will say. When he was there, like the whole get these hands and all that stuff.
yeah, and
Like they made him a powerhouse that was kid friendly.
yeah,
Unlike Bobby
exactly.
Lashley.
Yeah,
Bobby
and
Lashley is not a kid
yeah,
friendly
no,
powerhouse.
no. Bobby Lashley blocks out the sun. No, that was not Bobby Lashley.
That was I forget who that was.
I don't remember, but Corey Graves is
We can't say that.
racist. But yeah, man, the releases. I feel like that's rough, man. It's almost like coming into work
And then being
and
fired.
being fired for no
You're
reason.
like, why? And they're like, oh, we don't know. We
They're
just
like,
we
oh,
just can't afford it.
we gotta save money, but we're making millions.
Yeah,
you know?
right.
Yeah.
Um,
But yeah, it kind of sucks to see a lot of these wrestlers get let go. Dude, Andrade. I was like, what? But you
but
know what? AW was like, scoop.
yeah, I was actually just about to bring that up. Was
Yep.
like I saw a video the other day about it, and they're like, oh well, AEW is just gonna take all of WWE's wrestlers, and it's like they only signed, I think, 14 of them, and they released over 150 or something like that.
Yeah.
It's like they picked literally the best ones, and they're actually using them for like
The best
the
matches.
perfect,
Yeah.
like exactly how they should be used.
And
It's awesome.
they're allowing them to look at Aleister Black. So Aleister Black literally got let go from WWE with an eye, with the white eye. Had like promos, right? And then went to AEW with the white eye, like kept his storyline
Yeah,
from the previous company, and he's like, I'm gonna use it now, right? So
yeah. That's the other thing is not to rag on WWE, but AEW does allow creative freedom of their
Yeah.
superstars, which is, has led to a lot of really good storylines.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Um, as far as releases go, though, I mean, hopefully there's not another wave of them, and hopefully if there is, it's not. I mean, it's never good to see somebody get fired, but hopefully it's not like somebody huge that would be like shell shocking.
Shell shopping.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Shell Shopping Network, where we release people.
Pretty much. We're just shopping them. We're gonna trade them for
We're gonna
limos.
shop them into pieces. Yeah, no, I agree.
Of favorite wrestlers. I will let Gio go first, as he is more knowledgeable on. I
Oh
mean,
man,
not necessarily, but probably more knowledgeable than I am.
I would say
Who would you say is your favorite now?
favorite now. I think favorite now, and it's been for a while, has been Finn Balor. I kind of hate what they did with him in NXT. You know, bringing him down there to kind of make him pop again, but they didn't need to. Honestly, I think they could have done the same transition of turning him into the Prince in the
Yeah.
like SmackDown or Raw, and I think that would have been cool.
So now that you say that, actually,
Yeah.
thinking about it, when he I believe the line there was right when the Fiend attacked him. That was around the point that he got sent down, I
Yeah.
believe, if I'm not mistaken.
No, I think
Um,
actually I think that might be the right time.
so kind of how they're doing all this stuff with the Fiend, they could have done that turn, like how the Fiend does the hurt and heal. Like he
Yeah.
could do the hurt thing to Finn and turn him to a heel where he's Prince.
Well, like okay, so
Not in
The Fiend's
NXT though.
another story because like look at what they did with the Fiend. So he fought all these wrestlers, the hurt and heal thing, and then all these wrestlers either what what like I think half of them were like legends
Well, yeah,
and
for the most
they
part.
don't work for the company anymore. They are doing like background stuff.
Yeah.
And then like any of the wrestlers like Seth Rollins, for example, he fought Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins became a messiah. What the hell?
Yeah, he
And then
became like, I guess, I don't know whether he did. That's an interesting story, because whether he did hurt or heal
to Seth
would
Rollins, yeah.
change.
Well, I mean, he must have healed him because he had a baby
I
after.
I guess, but like the Messiah thing, that could go either way.
It's very
He could
true.
go heal and make him like, oh, he believes he's this god now, or he could go hurt and make him be like, oh, I'm this almighty
Yeah, no,
god
very
and
very
I'm gonna
true.
destroy all of you.
But yeah,
Which,
no, that's I mean that would I guess be besides who my favorite wrestler
yeah,
is. But
I mean,
sorry, we're going on a rant.
yeah, we went with Finn,
Finn
which
Balor.
then led to the Fiend, which then led to somehow Seth
So yeah,
Rollins.
no, I would say Finn Balor, probably my top favorite wrestler right now. I wish they would use him more. I wish he would hold a belt. You know, the
Yeah,
last time he was like to me on top was when he beat Seth Rollins with a broken arm, pretty much.
yeah,
And
and
I
then
feel
he had
like
to
that
give
was
up the belt immediately,
yeah,
which sucked.
exactly, and that sucked. But I would say after him, hmm, probably Kenny Omega. Watching Kenny Omega in New Japan. I didn't get to really watch him prior to New Japan, because I'm not into the indies hardcore like that. But watching him in New Japan was awesome, and then going from New Japan and doing what they're doing right now with AEW and Impact, I think that's dope. I think that having having that like the wall broken down and letting them do whatever the hell they want to do, I think that's been pretty cool. And then if I had to like choose top three, right? So we'll do top three. So what? I got Finn Balor, Kenny Omega, and I'm gonna have to say Bray Wyatt, man.
The Fiend,
Not even the Fiend, just Bray
just Bray
Wyatt.
Wyatt, yeah.
At one point in time, Bray Wyatt went kind of weird and crazy, and I'm talking
Yeah.
about wrestlers now.
Yeah, that was
Um, I
the
think
broken
wrestlers
Bray.
now, they're they're held back a lot, and that kind of stinks.
Yeah.
But
Creative wise, at
yeah,
least.
if we're talking about old wrestlers, that's a whole different list. But my top favorite wrestlers now, I would have to say probably them three.
Yeah. So Finn, Kenny, and Bray.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people are gonna be like, but Brody Lee, he's not one of my favorite wrestlers, but I really like Brody Lee too.
Yeah. He'll always have that special place
Yeah, yeah,
because of that
exactly.
video.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If you don't know, he said happy birthday to me.
Through a video. Yeah. That was
Yeah.
cool.
But
Um,
I don't know what are your favorite?
you know, I like Finn. I like Bray. I like Kenny Omega as well.
Yeah, man, we're going top three. Just
No, I
top
know.
three. Just go top
I'm
three.
trying to think, honestly. Um, top three right now, considering I haven't really kept up with wrestling very much. I think honestly, I've always liked Randy Orton.
Mm.
Always. Even when even when I was little and I hated him because he was a really good heel. Now, like looking back on it, he was probably one of the best heels at that time.
I don't like Randy Orton.
Oh, I
Sorry.
yeah, I do. I like Randy Orton. I feel like he plays exactly who he should play. He's like if they wanted to change his character, it wouldn't work. Like he plays exactly how he should.
Yeah.
He's I mean, they don't call him the Legend Killer anymore, but he's still the apex predator always.
Yeah.
Secondary wise, I would probably say honestly, I really more recently like Aleister Black. I don't know his name now because he had to change it.
Malachi
Malachi.
Black.
Yeah. So
Or Tommy End.
that's the one I heard.
Tommy End is his like name like on his handle type thing. I
Oh,
think.
okay, gotcha.
But it's Malachi Black in
Yeah.
AEW.
Aleister Black is
He's
by
dope.
far one of my favorite. I love his style.
Yeah.
I love like his character. Like everything is same thing as Randy Orton. Like if you put him in any other category, he wouldn't fit. Like he fits his character perfectly, exactly how he should. That and he had one of the best entrances in all of wrestling, in my opinion.
Yeah. I'll tell you the one thing I really like about Aleister Black is like he has that whole like black metal theme.
Yeah.
And I listen to black metal, so that's probably the one factor that I like. It's like it's almost like evil.
Yeah.
But
it's awesome though.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and his finisher's dope.
yeah.
I remember
Mask,
watching
that's
him
awesome.
in NXT, and I can't remember who he was fighting, but I literally paused and put the match on slow motion because the dude he kicked in the face was like, whoa,
Yeah.
and like it looked crazy.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And third, I mean, I'm having a hard time with the third, but I mean, a safe option is always Finn. I've always liked Finn since he came into.
Yeah.
I didn't really watch him when he was first in NXT, but when he moved up to the main roster, that's when, that's kind of when I jumped back onto WWE. So like it aligned almost perfectly.
Yeah.
I think Finn's really good. I just thought of another one, of course, right as I say Finn. I feel like Finn is just
he has the potential to be a GOAT.
He does.
You
He
know?
has a very high potential. He just doesn't get.
Yeah.
Vince doesn't like him, pretty much, is what I gather.
I don't know if that's the case.
Maybe he likes him too much that he doesn't want him to be successful.
Don't break.
Yeah.
Don't break. You're my toy. I'll keep you alive forever.
Yeah. Well, he's like, oh, well, I gave you a championship match, and then you broke your arm, so you're not getting anything else. But Finn is just, I think his entertainment value is always what peaks it.
Dude, it has been since they started the Bullet Club in New Japan, all the way to today. Honestly,
Yeah, like he's always the crowd draw, no matter what character, whether he's a baby face or a heel, like it doesn't matter. He's always the center of whatever's going on when he
Yeah.
is out there, which is amazing that there's
I
still
might
a character
I
that
might
has
get a
that.
lot of hate for this, but he reminds me of like kind of like a new age Shawn Michaels
Kind of,
without like the sex appeal stuff, but like the wrestling style, um,
kind
like
of,
not
yeah.
necessarily the high
Without the super
flyer.
kicks.
Yeah, without super kicks. Not necessarily the high flyer, but like the almost the like charisma type stuff, you know?
Yeah,
Like
like
I feel like he has that.
no matter what he was playing, he was always the center of what was going on,
exactly,
which
yeah,
is
yeah.
awesome.
Dude, and like the demon, the coming out as a demon was dope.
Yeah, same. We both agree they need to use that a lot
Oh
more
yes, yes.
because
They
that
won't though. They because they're doing this Prince thing. It's gonna be like how they were kind of booking him in New Japan too with
Bullet
Prince
Club.
Devitt and the
Yeah,
Bullet Club. And I mean he did the demon, but not as much as far as I
that was
remember.
more of like a.
It
I
was like
mean,
a
now it's
match
like a
champion.
singles
Well,
thing.
even in NXT though, it was
It was
kind
like
of
a
like
big
a
big match.
championship match or something. He was the demon.
It's a
But
big match
who was the other guy you were thinking?
Pete Dunne.
Oh shoot, Pete Dunne's such a good
I love
wrestler.
Pete Dunne. Pete Dunne is like saying he's. I keep saying it. He's like Randy Orton. Like if he played any other character, it wouldn't work. He plays his character perfectly.
He's
That and he's so aggressive and it's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah. He's in like a heel faction now in NXT,
Yeah.
and they do so good.
I feel like this faction kind of like I don't want to say discredit. I like the word. I don't know what the word is, but like it kind of like knocks down his morale in my opinion because he was such a good singles wrestler
Oh yeah, yeah.
and like him
No,
and
he's
Tyler
still
Bate at
honestly.
that time
Oh
they
snap,
had the best
the best
matches.
matches. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Um, I'll tell you one wrestler I don't like, and please don't hate me for this, but Roderick Strong.
I agree.
I mean, he's a good wrestler.
He's too dry.
He's just a horrible character.
He's too dry.
That's my opinion, though. So if you like Roderick Strong, good on you.
Roderick Strong's gonna listen to this.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, man, f you guys.
He's like, I hate you guys. I'm gonna
Don't.
find you.
Oh,
I'm gonna beat you up.
we don't live too far. Gonna say like if we're going like back now, we're talking about like I guess Attitude Era, right? Attitude Era into what else? I don't know. That for me, it was the Attitude Era. I stopped watching wrestling when John Cena started wrestling, and then
Sounds like
I got back into it.
that was ruthless aggression
Yeah,
era.
like
That's what
literally
they
that
called it.
era. I I I know a lot more kids grew up on that one, but
See, I was gonna say like I wasn't Attitude Era. Like I grew up in the ruthless aggression, so I personally love the ruthless aggression era.
yeah.
Like there's points in it that obviously I'm sure there was points in Attitude Era that there was points in it where it sucked, but other than that,
Honestly, like growing up and watching wrestling, I mean, honestly, wrestling was awesome. Used to go to the the WCW shows at Disney.
that's cool.
That was dope. That was dope. I remember meeting the NWO, and I was like, I was like a little kid meeting Kevin Nash, and he was like like freaking Godzilla,
Yeah, no
and I was like
kidding.
looking up at him like, whoa, this guy's tall,
Yeah.
but he's a super nice guy, right?
Yeah, I remember see when I was a kid I didn't go to any shows,
No.
unfortunately, just cuz it just they didn't really come here very often.
Yeah, it was
Um
well and then by the time out of that
I think they
the
came
ruthless
here for
aggression.
WrestleMania one year and like they rarely ever came for just normal shows that
Yeah,
weren't
normal shows.
pay-per-view.
Yeah, yeah. I know that for ruthless aggression, wasn't that around the time that WCW got bought?
That was just after it, yeah.
Yeah,
Cuz that
so
was when they got bought was like it was like that right before it happened, right before
yeah,
the Attitude Era
that's kind of
ended.
when I stopped watching wrestling.
Yeah, because the
And then
NWO was like the big end of the Attitude Era at
yeah,
that
yeah,
time.
yeah.
But yeah,
Sweet. Man, this is a whole wrestling episode.
Yeah, it is. Um, yeah, I mean, well, I don't necessarily hate any wrestlers. I mean, I think everybody hates Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar is just
I think he's just overplayed.
he
Like
is
overplayed. Like
he's somehow overplayed for someone who's only on like once every three
yeah,
months.
and I think that's the problem though, is every time he's on screen, they make it such a big deal,
Yeah, pretty much.
and
They like sell out pretty
yeah,
much.
and I think it's because of the audience, the draw. People are gonna watch the matches.
Yeah.
Look at when he's in UFC. You know, like people watch those matches
Yeah.
because it was Brock Lesnar, and you have wrestling fans watching UFC
Just because it was Brock
just because it was
Lesnar.
Brock Lesnar. You know.
I think
So
everyone just wants him to lose so bad that they want to see it when it happens.
yeah,
Pretty much.
he only lost what 3 matches?
What, in UFC?
Yeah, or he lost more.
I think he only lost three, but I mean, those
They were
three that
bad.
he lost were
Yeah.
really bad.
Yeah, I don't watch UFC, so not as much.
UFC's
The
entertaining.
last thing was Conor McGregor's leg breaking. and
Yeah, pretty much.
I only saw the highlights. I didn't even watch
mean,
the match.
Highlights. You didn't see very much.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
wasn't much of
that's
a
what I
match
heard.
anyways.
Imagine being like one of the people that like pay millions of dollars or thousands of dollars to go watch that.
And he
And
breaks
it
his
breaks his
leg in the
ankle, and you're
first
just like-
5 minutes.
You're like, dude, what? Like, did I just pay for this ticket?
Yeah, right? Bro, I
That's-
can't even imagine like paying for the flight out there, paying for the hotel, paying
Yeah.
to go to the thing, paying for all the food, all the drinks, all the partying, all that stuff cuz it was in Vegas.
Yeah,
So you're going to party at some point.
yeah.
Like, and then 5 minutes into the match, not even 5 minutes, he snaps his leg and you're
Yeah.
like, that was
that's-
the most anticlimactic ending
That-
ever.
That'd be like, that'd be like Finn Balor doing the coup de grace, and then his legs crumbling beneath him, and then you're like,
Like 5 seconds into the
you're
match.
like, oh, okay, and they're like, you need to get out of the building now.
Pretty much, yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. I can't think of
Can't think
anybody
of,
I hate.
Can't
Honestly.
can't think of a bad wrestler.
Not really. I think
No.
every wrestler that they have is always
For the
they
most
have their
part,
ups
yeah.
and downs.
Yeah, yeah. No, I agree. It's just Roderick Strong. I don't know. There's something about his character that I just like. I don't know if it's because he's a heel or he just doesn't know how to what he
He's
wants
a
to
bad
do.
heel though.
Dude, like honestly, like I hate to like be that person, right? But like when he was in the Undisputed Era, he was the only one that I was like, I don't like this guy. Like, why is he in the group?
Well,
The
I
rest
mean-
of them, the Bobby Fish with his cool ass mustache. You know, and then you had like
Kyle O'Reilly was
O'Reilly,
just
beast.
phenomenal.
Yeah, and,
and
then
then
Adam Cole's just
Adam Cole's charisma is
Adam-
through the roof.
dude. Adam
so,
Cole is another one that will become a goat
yeah.
in wrestling.
Him
because-
and Balor are
Yeah.
pretty much on like the same level as far as wrestling goes.
Yeah, I would say that. Yeah,
They're almost
but man,
almost to that, Kenny Omega Jericho area.
yeah. And then, dude, honestly, like every time Roderick Strong came out, I was like, I don't like this guy.
Well, let's just
There
change
was-
the channel.
No, there was this one time where I didn't watch wrestling for a while, but I knew that like all the Undisputed Era they had belts, right?
Yeah.
And I think Bobby Fish was out on an injury, and
It was just
it was Roderick
I
Strong
remember
and Kyle
this.
O'Reilly, and they came out with the tag team belts, and I'm like, yo, where's Bobby Fish? And I'm like,
They like subbed them in. Pretty
yeah,
much
and
for
I'm
the
like,
match.
what? I'm like, why would they do that?
Yeah.
I get
and
it.
then he botched like half the
Oh,
match.
God,
so
dude.
that was great.
Roderick Strong. Don't. And then now he has this new group that he's like the leader of called Diamond Mine or something like that. And they came out, and I was just
Garbage.
like, and they just look so awkward. I think that's what the problem is. It's just
You
such
actually,
an awkward character.
you know what?
What?
I just thought of one. Not that I hate him. I just don't like his character. Well, his old character. I don't know what he does now, or even his new character. Actually, the leader of Retribution, Mustafa Ali.
So I
I just
really
like
I
him.
really like Mustafa Ali.
I dislike him.
I
I
don't-
like his style of wrestling. I don't like his character,
Okay.
like at all.
Yeah, I remember at first he was supposed to be like a superhero or whatnot.
Yeah, he didn't fit the bill.
And now he just like I don't know what
Ricochet
he
fits
does.
the bill. He doesn't fit the
Oh,
bill.
Ricochet's beast too, man. Prince Puma.
Yeah.
If you ever watch Prince Puma matches, if you ever watch like Prince Puma matches, dude, like on
When he
there's a
was
Lucha
in
Underground.
Mexico. Yeah.
Yeah, and that and Lucha Underground. Even I don't know if you know this, but so you know about
He was in New Japan at some point, wasn't he? Or no?
probably yeah. I'm not sure. I haven't followed his career like that. But you know what's his name? Austin.
Theory?
No, the other one.
Aries?
Austin Aries.
Yeah.
So Austin Aries, you know, you ever heard of the character Suicide?
Yeah.
So that's Austin Aries did that character, and I think at one point Ricochet did that character as well.
Yeah. Because
Right?
I remember there was some storyline about like unmasking him or something,
Yeah, and that
and it was
character.
like Austin Aries like ripped his mask off and went after the champ or something.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
there was another suicide, and they were like, "Who's this guy?"
So I know that like
Yeah.
you had like Crazy Steve or something like that.
Froze again, but
Just let it go.
all right.
Like I think Crazy Steve had well, Impact's weird. I'm not, I don't want to get into Impact because uh I don't watch it too much.
Yeah, I
Like,
used to watch it back in like Ruthless Aggression.
So when I worked back in Universal, they used to film them at
by
Universal,
you, yeah.
and I
You did
used to get
tell me
off of
that.
work and I used to go watch them, and
That was back when like
that was when
Bully Ray and
that was
didn't you
when
say like Hulk Hogan?
that was
and
like
stuff?
Hulk Hogan and
Eric Bischoff and all that.
yeah, who else? Oh man, Kurt Angle was in the show.
Yeah,
Dude, Samoa Joe.
that's back when I used to watch it.
Yeah,
It was like a young AJ Styles too.
like he was because he was one of like the first people, right? Or
Yeah.
something like he was from the beginning. But
He was, of course, as phenomenal
oh
in that
yeah,
as he is
no,
now.
he's
So
even with his mom hair or his whatever it is, the the um soccer mom hair,
yeah,
he's still dude. AJ Styles is awesome.
he's a goat.
I was
by,
actually
by far.
yeah. There's many goats, but there's one goat, Chris Jericho.
Obviously.
That's it. Sorry, you could say Ric Flair, you could say Hulk Hogan, you could say any of these old wrestlers.
Don't say John Cena, please.
You can just
Don't. I mean, he has
John Cena,
championships, but
he's all right.
wrestling wise, he's.
I mean, okay, so
Unfortunately,
we went to go see Fast and the Furious.
We
Change
did.
of subject, sorry, but we went to go see Fast and the Furious, and half
Is-
the movie we were like, who are these people talking to? And it's funny because every time John Cena was on screen, and you couldn't
We're
just
like, wow, it's just a blank screen.
you just couldn't see him. You knew he was there, you just couldn't see
You could
him.
hear his voice, but he
Yeah.
wasn't there.
So I'm excited to watch Suicide Squad because I know that they have him in
I feel like
they have him in the Peace Walker character, like, and he's gonna have like actual like colored
and all that.
colored clothing on, and he has like this silver helmet. So hopefully you get to see like that But
I was gonna say, as far as his acting goes, Fast and Furious, garbage.
he was
he was horrible in Fast and Furious. But I feel like his Suicide Squad character, I feel like it's goofy enough where he can actually do it properly, and
Yeah,
it'll be good.
Definitely. I think that he's gonna do really good on that one. And I mean, it's James Gunn.
Yeah, so I mean,
James Gunn did
one of the best
Guardians of the Galaxy,
directors, obviously.
and all of the Guardian of the Galaxy movies have been awesome. So I think this
I
movie will be pretty
still
fun.
haven't seen Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh no!
So I know where we dive into the movie segment.
Oh no! I know that this is gonna be
Let me do
a big
that.
wrestling episode, and we're talking a lot about wrestling, but we'll eventually get into talking about movies and games and all that stuff. Probably have like different segments and stuff.
Yeah,
Because
definitely.
this was a huge wrestling episode.
Yeah,
For our first episode being on, I think it was a pretty cool
Yeah.
episode.
this episode was supposed to be like an introduction, and we went on like
we
went from like a 10-minute introduction into like almost an hour of wrestling, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty
and then
much.
And then it took like left and right turns randomly through like movies, and I mean the good thing is it flows. I
Yeah.
guess.
I mean, you guys will probably see the cuts, but you'll see that.
Leave that part in.
Yeah,
Oh, you'll see the
you'll
cuts.
see the cuts definitely. But it's kind of funny because we went from talking, to each
Introduction.
other
Being
about
like
different things,
sentimental kind of
and
with the
then we went straight
intro.
into wrestling,
Yeah.
and wrestling was the rest of the episode. And I think it's just like goes back to
We're
kind of
just talking about random stuff.
yeah,
Good
yeah.
thing with wrestling, it changes every week.
Yeah, exactly.
So-
So maybe we'll have one full episode every week of wrestling. And
What?
that
Wait,
oh wait,
what?
we're recording only one episode a week.
I was like,
That's
what?
It's gonna be
Maybe a
an
segment?
episode of wrestling every week.
An episode within an episode.
Oh, that's an inception.
Do like a recap. We can do a wrestling recap in each episode. Like a
Oh, that'd
solid
be cool.
2 minutes of, all right, this is what happened this week. It was garbage. Back to you.
Back to you in the AC room.
Yeah.
And the AC unit's like
It's pretty windy out here.
yeah. What's crazy is another thing. A lot of times people that are doing podcasts, they'll have headphones on so they can hear themselves
Or hear each
or
other.
get their levels and stuff. And literally, we set our levels in the beginning and we lowered the volume to all the speakers, so we don't know what the heck we sound like.
Hopefully it sounds good.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I
think
mean, the
it,
levels
I
look
mean,
pretty
it did.
good, so-
When we checked it, it did.
Yeah.
So.
And if we're yelling,
Sorry.
look at us in sync.
It's bye. Yeah, a lot of inside jokes. That's gonna be. I've noticed that with a lot of podcasts. There's a lot of inside jokes that if you don't listen from like the very beginning, you're not gonna understand any of them,
Oh, definitely.
which is good.
So we
because
have
I like that.
we have a few inside jokes. Some of them we had to retire because we kind of overused them in our normal lives.
Yeah, we also agreed to retire them when
Yeah.
the very first one was retired at New
It was
Year's.
sad.
Yeah,
It was sad.
we're like, all right, New Year's starting. We gotta make new jokes.
And we would love to tell you, but
Thank you for hanging out with us at the Noodle Shop. My name was Tristan.
and I'm Gio.
Please like, share, and subscribe.
We'll see you later.